So I've been on a little bit of a speaker hunt over the last couple of months, and I think I just may have found myself the perfect powered monitor speakers for my desk. Maybe they'd be perfect for you too. Let's take a look at them. So this is the, I don't know how to say this, the Alesis Elevate 5 MKII. This is a powered monitor speaker. It's got a 5-inch woofer and a 1-inch tweeter up here, and then you can see you've got some bass ports on the front right there. Little headphone jack down here, volume knob right there. Let's look around on the back. You've got power on off, you've got your power cable, you've got the connection cable that goes to the other speaker, and then you got your RCA in, or you can use 1/4 inch in as well. And there's also, you can see, a little bass boost switch right there too, which we'll talk about. Looking quickly at the other speaker over here, it looks basically the same, except you've got nothing else on the front, and the back is just the port for the auxiliary cable. Hey, real quick, I just want to jump in and stop the video here. If you're digging the background music, this was actually made by my nephew, and I'm going to link to his channel down below. If you want to go over and check his stuff out and maybe show him a little bit of love, I'm sure he'd appreciate that. So thanks for that. Let's get back to the review. Okay, so what makes this such a great speaker? Well, honestly, I've been trying out several different speakers at my desk here and in my main listening area back out in my living room back there in the basement. And I went through and I did, a review of those Kanto U speakers, and I just didn't really like them. They just didn't suit my need. They weren't quite good enough for the main room, and then I put them back here, and they were okay here on my desk. I certainly liked the form factor of the U4s. That was a nice, compact, nice looking speaker, but it just didn't sound fantastic in the near field. And I just had happened to buy these powered monitors just kind of on a whim because they were some of the cheaper ones that I could find on Amazon. I mean, they're only listed at $80 right now, and I bought mine open box for I think maybe even like $67 or something like that. So pretty cheap powered monitor, but they also had like 1,500 positive reviews. And so I was looking at these, and I was also looking at things like the PreSonus and some of the what's that other really popular one that I see a lot? Well, you've got things like the MKIIs, and then the Edifier stuff. Yeah, those are the ones that are like really popular too. But these were like half the price of a lot of those, so I thought, give them a shot. I wanted something, a little bit larger because I'm thinking, bass quality and things like that. So I thought a 5-inch would be a good fit for me while still not taking up too much space on my desk. And so these guys just kind of fit the bill, and I was like, let's give them a shot. And I have been super impressed with how good these guys are in the near field. So when I'm talking about sound here, I'm going to be talking mainly about near field stuff because I did set them up in my living room just to give them a shot out there. But I would say at higher volumes and in a bigger space, they kind of fall apart and lose the magic. So if you're going to get these, I would really only recommend them for, on your desk listening in the near field. So when I'm thinking about the sound of these guys, like one thing that really blew me away was just really the timbre quality of it all for such a cheap speaker. I mean, it really, the vocals come off natural, pianos, guitar strings all sound really, really good, really accurate to my ear. And it has a nice warmth to the mid-range that makes it just easy to listen to. The top end is like, it's not going to be overly detailed, and these aren't way extended on either end either, you know what I mean? Like, but it's unoffensive, and there's an adequate amount of detail there. I was honestly pretty impressed with like the image information when I'm sitting, like if I can turn around my camera here, ignore my kind of messy desk, but you can see like when I'm sitting, I've got them, maybe about 3 feet away from me, angled up slightly at me, and that just has worked really well. I get I'm getting like a really strong center image on these guys, but also, you know, just it's thrown a pretty decent sound stage too. So I've just been generally impressed and pleased with the detail level, the timbre, and the image quality of these guys. The bass is okay. I would again call it like, it's nothing special, but again, it's unoffensive, right? It's easy to listen to, it's pleasant, it's more of like a mid-bass focus to it, I would say. There certainly isn't like anything present for sub-bass here. But again, for me, like using them at my computer just to watch like YouTube videos, do some casual music listening while I'm like doing some work here at my desk, and to monitor for videos, it all works really, really well. It's just an easy speaker to recommend for all of that stuff, especially at the price that it comes in. What do you need to know about this? I mean, it does have a volume control on it. I personally am using my Element III to control it, and all that is working fantastic for me. Let's see, what else do you need to know about these things? They're not super powerful, 40 watts per channel. They do have a crossover in there for, it says, for both high and low frequencies. So that's about all they have on here for specs of these things. But again, I don't worry too much about the specs of stuff, especially when we're talking like a cheap speaker that just sounds good. I mean, I don't have anything else to say about it. It's fitting my needs. I think it's going to live on my desk for quite a while. Again, I have a nicer setup out in the living room for some serious listening and movies and stuff like that. Like, that's not what these guys are for. These are just to get you some decent quality sound at your desk for casual listening and for like monitoring and doing a little bit of work. And for that, the Elevate 5s here do a fantastic job. So they get my seal of approval. I'll link them down below if you want to check them out. That will be an affiliate link.